All right, don't expect much, guys.
Is that Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
That's Ed Nettie. There's a character in the show. Are you gonna do
doing it?
This is Shirley Herman of Northgate Chess. I'm not getting infections or diarrhea from Ben.
His headphones? I don't know if that's how it works.
Nobody knows how anything works.
Just gonna put that.
And
Oh, perfect.
It came down to I was going to go down and exchange or a piece or get checkmated, and I got checkmated. I was so worried about whether to go down and exchange or a piece. I forgot about the checkmate threat. This is a classical Carocon. I think that's what you boys call it.
I think that's what your boys call it.
Well, hello, people. We are here with a special edition. Ben got sick on his way to the chess club. Almost got in a car accident. It was just unbelievable. He said
Literally a car accident.
it literally was a car accident. Yeah. So he is not able to be here today. But what we do is improvise. That's really what we do best. And here we are.
The show must go on, and we have to deliver great chess content for the people.
Because we care deeply about them. Mm-hmm. Our listeners. Why are you laughing? Anyway, our number one fan, Shirley Herman, is here. So we made some room for her. Decided, if Ben's not here, second best will be our number one fan. So here she is. And also, she's kind of like Daniel's chauffeur. So she drives him to the tournament, but she also plays. So she's like a house player chauffeur / senior TD consultant. So everyone welcome Shirley. Hi, Shirley.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. And Shirley also has a chess club she runs every now and again. They're like surprise pop-up things. They're like those pop-up bars. Like, I think like pop-up like Halloween Harry Potter bars like in downtown. You ever heard of those?
Sure.
Okay. Well, they have those. And so this is like Shirley runs like a pop-up chess club. Like once or twice a year, she'll be like, hey.
That's a pretty interesting way to put it.
Yeah. She's like,
you're making it
chess
sound
tournament.
real good.
Well, that's what she does. She's, chess tournament this year. And then she gets like 30 people and they all come and have a good tournament.
Yeah, she knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at a game from the Fall Classic. What round was this? Do you remember?
The Spring Classic.
The Denver Classic. I don't know.
The Spring Classic.
It was one of them. I don't know.
So we did. There's the Spring Classic.
DCC puts on the Classic tournaments apparently. Yeah.
They're the oldest chess club in Denver. So
yeah, they're also like the oldest chess club like within. I don't know, some kind of radius, some kind of large radius.
Oh, wait, like there's neighboring states aren't really much to write home about.
Yeah, like the point is Denver is geographically isolated.
It's true. No offense, Wyoming, Utah,
right,
or
Kansas, you want to provide
or
some
Nebraska.
Context for this game?
Or like Oklahoma. Are we even bordering Oklahoma? I don't know. Hi. So we're going to look at Shirley's game here. So she's playing black against Carter Worcester.
Worcester. I don't
Carter's from Wyoming. This is the last round of the tournament, round 5. I'm playing black. And Carter, I'm going to try to play the Carocon. Carter opens with e4.
If you win this game, do you get any money?
No, I don't think so. I'm just trying to get on the scoreboard, probably.
Okay.
All right.
So he plays d4 and I play c6. That's a Carocon. He plays d4. I play d5. Going
All right.
into
This is
classical
very, very,
variation.
very, very, very
He
main
takes
line.
knight-
Yeah, very
knight-
main line.
Knight takes c3.
Knight G3.
And when
This
he
is
does
all
that,
typical.
I mean,
Yep.
E5.
All
And
typical.
he, yep.
Okay, and
And
you
this
played
is-
H5. H5 is a bad move. Why is H5 a bad
Oh,
move?
wait a minute. You guys went ahead of me.
Yeah. So we're watching the.
I put the bishop on
So you
F5.
put. So this is the main line.
And then he puts the knight back there
The knight retreats and then the bishop
to
retreats.
e3. So then I put that back there. And then he plays
H4.
Yep. So he plays H4 now,
H4.
which
So what am I supposed to do there? I
So
don't
what-
know, but I think I'm supposed to make a hole for my bishop. So I played H5.
Okay.
All right.
Now, what are the
H5.
pluses and minuses of H5 or H6?
also H4 and H5. So this is also what I've been playing recently. This with white, anyways. And yeah, Shirley's right. You're not supposed to play H5 first. I think you're supposed to push knight F3 first, but I think H5 is
H4,
or H4 is okay.
Is like H4 is a good move. Like it's been played
Yeah.
by Caruana, Anand, Kasparov.
Oh, that's right.
It's
That's right.
fine. Knight F3 is more classic or more modern. White is threatening
I
knight
see.
E5. H4 is more classical.
So you can play either
it's like
way.
an older move. But here you like H5 is a mistake. Why is H5 a mistake? Does anybody know?
Yes, it has something to do with. Yeah, I forgot, but there is like some sort of tactical line here where your pieces all come over here, and then you end up, I think, trapping the bishop somehow.
So what are the pros and cons of h5 versus h6? Anybody know?
I'd say, let's see, h6, your pawn's structure continues to be connected. h6.
You got any answers?
Me? No. I played h5.
Why did you play h5 over h6? Did you consider h6?
I'm sure I did.
Okay, all right. So the
And
problem
also-
with h5, two things. This square is weak now. You can't control g5 anymore with this pawn. Every pawn move creates weakness.
Ah,
Another thing, the bishop and the rook are tied to this pawn. This pawn is a weakness, as you pointed out.
yeah.
So that's why h6 has been played in 10,000 master games, and h5 has been played in 6 games.
Ah, and white has
And they were all mine.
well, in the master games, they were all
I'm not a master yet.
not yet. And so, yeah, h5.
So
White
now,
also has
now
a
this
50%
is
winning
a tender
percentage.
square.
Okay, well, let's keep an eye on that
So
square
a
as
knight
we
could
move
jump
forward.
there, a bishop could jump there.
Why is that arrow red?
Oh, because I made it red.
Because he held shift or something.
And we will now, let's keep an eye on g5. Let's see if our opponent, or white's, excuse me, let's see if white can exploit g5. So we continue kind of normally.
Yeah, e6 is fine.
And here's the
And
knight
this is a
e5
very
move
nice
that you
move.
were,
This is a very nice move.
that you were referencing
So
earlier.
you're already like close to losing, I think, because
I get there.
the bishop is tied to this, and this is a huge threat,
know
and
what
you
you
don't have a
guys are
great
doing.
way.
That is not what happened in the game.
This is what happened. This is the PG
You're-
semi.
You're behind
H5.
on your board.
And he played knight
93.
F3, and then I played E6, and then he comes this knight up to the center.
Uh-huh.
Knight
So,
E5.
so you got to watch the TV, not
So
your
what am I
not your
supposed
phone.
to do with that?
Okay,
So 95.
So after knight f3, what is white threatening? That's what you had to recognize. What is white threatening?
After knight F3, well, I already moved ahead, so I know he wants to come up there in the center.
Yeah, and so why is this
I
such
don't know
a
what
such a
supposed to do about
big deal for you, and for him? This is a very
What do you
dangerous
want me to
move.
play? Knight D7?
Yeah. So then when he jumps, then you can just take it.
And what did I do? E6?
Yeah, and now I think he's winning
I would agree with that.
because this structure is going to be very very loose. Like this doubled pawns
Ooh,
here
mine
and this
look all
light
bad.
squares. And I think that's like what happened in the game. And then probably he like attacked too fast or something, and you ended up getting a material advantage.
Well, let's see because it ended up being a draw. So let's see how this goes. Shirley has a very very good ability to get in these completely lost positions and then fight her way out of it. So it's really it's actually pretty astonishing. So let's see kind of how she does this. And okay, I mean I think the only move you might have here would be like 97. A 97 or maybe retreating the bishop. I don't know if you can do that or not. But I mean,
I like 97, although I mean this looks very hard to play for black.
oh, there's
Yeah, but I'm trying to induce that move, and now there's like squares and stuff.
that's fair because then you're king. And then okay.
There's a lot of weak light squares over here.
How did the F pawn get pushed?
There are.
Well, because we're moving the pieces around.
So we're just looking at theoretically what you should do.
So you ended up playing bishop d6. You got to look at the TV. That's the board we're moving.
That's not your phone. So you got to watch the TV. Bishop d6. Okay, so he takes. That's what we said was gonna kind of happen here. And bishop g5, and this is part of the reason why this h4 move is played.
So see how unhealthy our structure is, and also white has a light squared bishop, and so our structure is very weak, and our light squares are very weak, and those things are kind of tied together. Like the bishop is really going to hurt you.
Yeah,
The rook's going to come to the e file, and that's going to hurt you.
the bishop now is basically has an invincibility cloak, not invisibility, but an invincibility. This thing is
Well, the knight can touch it, but the bishop is fast.
Okay, then it has a.
Like, think of Quicksilver. Like, Quicksilver got shot, even though he was really fast.
Who's Quicksilver?
Have you seen Age of Ultron? Okay, this is a
Okay.
very niche reference.
I used to
I
wear
don't know. He
Quicksilver in high
has super
school.
speed, and he died at the end of Age of Ultron. Spoiler alert.
Ah,
Even though he had super speed, he like saved somebody. I don't know.
ah. Okay, sounds good.
You know, I mean,
Sounds good.
I think it's an apt like metaphor. Anyway,
I mean, with a name like Quicksilver, I believe you. That's a pretty dope superhero name.
yeah. Okay, Queen A5 check. Queen A5 check. That might gain a tempo.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think it's defensible. It gets your queen out of danger. Queen A5 check. C3 seems okay.
What the heck? Okay. So you're doing
that's
He messed my pawns up. I'm going to mess his pawns up.
you're doing the
I
same
like
thing
it.
to him. You're making him
yeah.
you're making him bleed his own blood, maybe.
And this is kind of like
Yeah, maybe Bishop G5 is not a good move. Maybe he should just play Bishop D3. Because I actually think Black
Yeah.
is getting some sort of counterplay. Although I take White every day still.
yeah. I mean, no, I agree. I think this bishop is his best piece, and it's just sitting on the back rank. Yeah, I agree.
Queen A5 check might be like a really nice move because you gain a tempo in order to have the time to do this.
Mm-hmm. And now she can even play Queen F5 probably in the future. So let's see. So immediately we actually see how what White's plan was with this weak G5 square that we had talked about earlier, or that you had referenced in the beginning. F takes G3. So this is part of Shirley's, like I said, kind of ability to just not play nonsense, but play something that's completely whack and get into these positions that
Well,
are.
She always tells me like after chess like how much brain power she used, and I think like sometimes it helps her, but sometimes it hurts her.
Yeah.
Like she really tries hard, but she probably overthinks. You know.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay,
It
Queen
happens.
B3. That's also an unpleasant move to face.
I almost feel like you could probably just castle here, castle short. No, because you lose a knight.
Yeah. So I don't like knight e7. I think knight f6 makes more sense.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Earlier, you mean?
But she's concerned about this pawn.
Oh, now,
That
okay.
She should be concerned about this pawn. Yeah, she still has like light square weaknesses everywhere.
Yeah, see, so I feel like, so she's concerned about the pawn. I wonder if you can play, I wonder if you can play like this move. And the point is,
Well, I don't like putting the queen on the f file. I think the queen is going to get kicked by a rook at some point.
well, the point is you're going to do this and try to hit
If
this.
you go this, like I'll trade or I'll play this. Like actually, yeah, this is just mate, right? Or not mate, but because I have knight f6, but it's close to mate.
Oh, you also have this. And you just hopefully maybe run away.
This looks really bad for you.
Well, I mean, the whole thing right now looks bad.
I guess I have to do this, but yeah, I mean, you got the queens off, so you're not going to get mated right away. But yeah, it
and
is
then
a
knight
winning
here
position.
and
Yeah, I mean, two bishops, weaknesses.
Okay. All right. Two bishops. Let's Let's go back here to so 97. So this is what happened in the game. She played 97, worried about her pawn. And then White came for Queen
That's
B3.
where it goes in the advanced Caricon, right?
Well, yeah, but
No,
we're not really.
this
Well,
is
that's
the
not.
advanced
That's not the.
Caricon.
But even still,
This is
You
the
never
classical
advanced?
Caricon.
This is the- yep.
It's a classical.
but even still, this isn't. I don't think we could call this really any type of
Okay.
Carocon anymore
Alright,
because
fine.
we are now in Shirley
No,
land.
we're in
This
no
is-
man's land here.
We are in no man's land. We're in.
It's a novelty by Shirley.
This 100% is a
Yes.
novel
Okay,
position.
Queen c7, defending this pawn. You recognize that this is not just a threat of a pawn; it's also a threat of a rook. So Queen c7 makes sense. But yeah, this is going to fall, and once again, yeah, we're
So
very
has to,
losing.
Yeah, and she has to make
But
that
she-
into a
but
gambit or
He
something.
didn't take that. Why didn't he take that?
You want to be more principled, I guess.
No, I mean this is like a winning, like so winning. Like,
Yeah.
Like, what is black's move?
Uh,
I don't really see a move.
I don't really see it. Maybe queen d7.
Queen d7. Okay. I'll avoid that. I'll attack this.
And short castles.
And then this
Nope,
game's-
still can't short castle.
But I guess you have rook e8 at the end. Yeah, maybe this is how
Oh, yeah,
play
maybe
it.
you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get too far in the weeds, but he didn't take. I would take for sure.
I don't think developing just because he's going to need these pieces anyways. I mean, he will need to take this pawn.
Well, it's not about the pawn for me. It's about the pressure that the queen exerts on the position.
That's fair. I suppose he has bishop takes and then queen takes.
He also has like bishop takes and queen c8 and bishop takes and
Yeah.
but the knight's a defender,
And then this bishop comes in.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You're infiltrating. Okay, so he didn't do that.
Right. This position isn't losing by any means. I don't think long castling is losing, but
I think it is losing objectively, but
for white.
I mean for black.
Oh
Like-
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it doesn't
for white.
spoil anything.
Right.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Knight d5.
You guys don't have the engine on?
No.
No, we don't have the engine on.
What Leach's
Knight d-
engine says that he's plus 8.7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well.
well,
Well. I figured
So
as
we,
much.
we
but
don't look at the we don't look
We're
at the
not
engine.
doing that. Like on the video, it'll show what the evaluation is, but yeah, we're trying to provide some human
Right.
thoughts.
And that way, when people watch the video too, they can be like, huh, "That move sucks, Weston. What did you think, stupid?" Like, wow, yeah, it does happen quite a bit. So, and now white just has like so many more resources. Now we have this, yeah. So how did Shirley end up with a draw here? So
Okay,
this
king
is
f7. That's like forced. Although, yeah, this looks very hard to meet. I guess 90s. Yeah, it's very bad. Very bad. Yeah, queen c2 looks very good for white. Okay, this is also a good move. And then he just lost his mind.
he just sacks. What did he think there was going to be?
Yeah,
sack,
so this is what I
take,
figured.
and
Something
then
like this
rook?
happened. Like he went a little crazy. Like this is like similar to like a game that she would play with you. Like you would just like go too aggressive,
That's fair. That has happened.
go too fast and aggressive,
And Shirley, what are you thinking here?
and too committal.
I don't know where we are.
Do you remember?
Look-
do you remember
look-
this moment where he took his rook and he took your knight? Like
He said- yeah,
he
you-
used his rook to take your knight. That was good.
That wasn't very smart, was it?
No.
It wasn't very smart. No.
I don't know what he's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
He likes me.
Okay.
All right.
He's thinking he has to drive back to Wyoming.
I think queen c2 is a good move. Like I think queen c2 is.
I
you
think,
should-
yeah, that's the only thing I'd say. Queen c2, the only move that's even conceivable, I would say, is like,
Yeah, and then I take.
oh yeah, that's true. So, yeah, queen c2 is probably the best move. Instead, he plays his rook sacrifice,
Oh, yeah, he sacked a rook.
Yeah, knight d7 is a good move.
and now all of a sudden, so let's look.
So we're up the exchange, and we've like he straightened
Yep.
the pawns out.
yeah, that was like, so when you sacrifice, a lot of people talk about, oh, Paul Morphy, he had these sacrifices,
I
these
don't
giant
think that even
attacks.
happened.
So it's almost like people have these things where like, well, if I just sacrifice this piece, I'll have like a big attack, and they don't look at like what maybe positionally
It requires
their opponent can do.
calculation.
Correct, it does. And even here, like this sacrifice, if this, like, there's no, you don't even have to like calculate. You just say, oh, well now,
I think if you're going to take this with something, you have to have a follow up in mind, because otherwise you might be repairing black's position.
exactly. 100%. Yeah. There, like he should have at least lined his rooks up maybe before doing this to make sure he, like you said, he does have a follow up. But yeah, he helped black repair their position, get their pawns back into like a giant strength now, and here we are.
So I think black's winning now, although white still has
Yeah,
play.
he sacked a rook. He should not have done that.
He shouldn't have.
He should have not have done that.
He should- Wait, is that a double negative? He should have not have done that. Wait, so he should have done that. Wait a second.
Should have, not have.
Should have.
That's a positive.
All right. So
But we digress. So
He should not have done that.
all right, so he's just trying to attack. Like he didn't need to. He didn't need to invest any material to attack. Like he already had an attack. He didn't need to. He didn't need to make a commitment like this.
no, yeah, this is way too. Yeah, I mean, you had time. White had a lot of time. They had a lot of time to build up an attack, and instead they prematurely forced it.
I hate it.
Yeah, and now
Okay.
I'd say it's even. Now, I mean, I don't know.
All right.
I would
All
say
right.
I would take black.
So here's the thing in this position. What do you have that white doesn't have?
A rook.
Correct.
Now,
Okay.
does that rook matter if you don't use it?
Well, he has the open file.
Right. That's also a good hint to what the move you should play is.
I could put my rook on the open file. And
Correct.
just trade it.
You
I was
should-
gonna say,
you should
going
contest
back-
the file. Yeah.
I was going to say more specifically, you had a rook, but you had a rook that you have not moved yet. So really, you played this whole game down a rook. So, I mean, the best thing to do would be to get that rook that you've never touched into the game.
Yeah. You also want to, you have two rooks. He has one rook. So if you trade, then you have one rook and he has no rooks. That's like even better.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the war of attrition right there.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know what
so
they say? 2 rooks on the board is worth 1 in the. Oh wait.
Bush.
Yeah.
Bird in the hand.
Wait. Wait. I didn't have that backwards. I might have had that backwards. Either way, a rook on the board is
Only
worth 2 in the
once,
bush.
Shame on you. Something or other.
My jokes are just.
Okay. All right. So he wants to do this also, and that's like annoying for you because now all your pieces are going to be tied down.
And you're gonna have to go for a
So
pawn
you
break.
did this. So you're attacking this pawn, but he has a very convenient way to answer your threat and make a threat of his own. And so now he has like play. I mean, you're still winning, but you have to
I think you-
neutralize his play.
And I would say the only 2
So
moves here.
you had
Okay.
to go back. Yeah. So he got more than he deserved. Yeah, and this is a good move because if he doesn't do that, you play b5 and you repel his battery.
And since b5 is now repelled, I would say, I mean, I'm just guessing that I would try to break here.
Did any of this happen?
Yeah, you want to activate the rook. Yeah,
Yes,
this
this is your
is
game.
what happened. Yeah, we're 25 moves in. Yeah.
A4, and then rook e7.
Okay, so we're trying to get more guys on this
I
thing.
see. So instead of counterplay, we just go for defense.
Yeah.
Just
All
to
right.
look familiar.
Yeah, that's not Weston style.
Nope.
Um,
I would play. I think I would go a6 and then b5.
Oh,
okay, so he took the pressure off of this. So now you can start challenging some of the interlopers in your position.
yeah, I went back. Okay.
So what does Shirley do?
Yeah, that's a good move.
Okay. All right.
You should take that. Yeah. Okay. All right. You're very close to consolidating.
Very close to getting
All right.
it into a
So-
rook versus bishop endgame.
So you just when you have a material advantage, just slowly improve your pieces because you have a static advantage.
Static advantage.
So if you make your rook do more things than the bishop, which is not hard to do because rooks usually do more things than the bishop, not in this position because the bishop is actually dominating the rook in this position. But you can change that very quickly by first taking the second attacker off of this. So you should play a move. Don't do this because this is a trick, but do this.
Hold on. That's a trick here.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah.
Although even this is probably winning
So maybe.
because I can just go. Yeah, I think I'm winning here.
Yeah. Probably fine.
So I mean, yeah, maybe even do this because then now
don't
his
know
queen
what
is tied to
move you're
this.
on.
Like maybe you're this trap is actually a trap. Like this is a trap within a trap. Like I don't know.
Ooh. I like traps within traps.
But I don't know if he might find this move. But I don't even know if it's a
How
good
is
move.
that safe?
because
Because you want him to
rook
trade
is,
his queen.
The rook is overworked, so it can't take because it already has a job.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a check. So I have to do something.
Yep. And
Oh,
so
that's a good move. Bishop takes E6.
So you should play either this or this. You should just kick him out. Just kick him out.
yep. Just kick him out or make him trade, one of the two. You love a trade. Love a trade here. His
Okay.
queen is like 2 squares away from your king, and
So our queen is kind of going.
oh, now we're okay.
Our queen is kind of taking a mental health day.
Which is not a bad thing. I love mental health days. I am a huge fan. So, but she does not need to be taking a mental health day right now.
I
so
think she has some duties that she is abandoning.
correct, and I think too. Let's see. I'm just going to think or try to guess what Shirley's idea was here. Maybe she sees queen here, check, and then maybe coming here.
Or maybe she's just targeting the pawn. Do you remember what your
looks
thought
good. I
process
like that.
was? But okay, do you remember what you thought here?
I was probably thinking about the check.
You were trying to get a check. Yeah.
I like to check.
Yeah.
I would say that's by Daniel's definition of rating classes. I'm still a beginner, so people of my ilk who are beginners, we do like checks. Checks. If you see a
or-
check, maybe you could give it, and then that's the beginning of your plan.
After the check, I can push the the G pawn, and clear all those pawns to make room for my passers to come in.
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is not the move I would play, but I don't think it's like spoiling anything, because that's how winning black is.
I would
also,
agree.
like this is like a credible plan to play G5. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, Queen D4. That he's retreating on his own.
Wow.
Okay, so follow through, please. Okay, you're worried about this pawn? I don't think you should worry about this pawn.
Yeah, because you could just play B5 and then there's a fork.
Yeah, that's actually a good point too. Yeah, so like check and then G5, and then if he takes this pawn, then B5 is very nice.
Did I do that?
And that attacks the queen and the bishop. No, you defended your pawn.
Now, I don't even know if you have to do that first, or because then you could just play, or you could play this with check and then.
Yeah, you
Then do that? I mean-
you could check first and then play B5.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, it's not going to be check because this is check, so it won't be another check. Like the king will.
gonna
The
stop
king will have.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. So you played B6. It's fine. It doesn't spoil anything. Again, Queen E3. He stops the idea, and now his queen kind of looks scary here. But he abandoned the D file, so now you can activate your rook. And if he does do this, then you can just take this
I mean, you could play B5 now as well. Like, and just win a pawn.
B5.
Can't she just play B5 right now and win a pawn?
Well, she's got two on that. He's got 2 on that.
Right here, bishop. Oh,
So-
yeah. Yep.
So
Sorry.
I bring the queen over to the B file.
Okay, so yeah. Look
Okay.
at the quality of your pieces. I think your queen is fine, but your rook is very. It wants more to do.
Yeah, your queen's in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Queen doesn't want to be in the
I
corner.
think the queen is more is healthier than the rook.
I always feel like you could even play like queen D8, hoping for maybe rook D7.
So Weston, my point is, don't move the queen, move the rook, because the queen is
Sure.
doing more than the rook. So you want all your pieces to be active, not just one of them. This rook is just
yes,
the
I
rook
see.
this rook is just being passive. Like, use both of your pieces.
Right. Your king's already guarding the pawn on E6.
Well, my thought process was you just spoiled my check and my push of my G pawn, so I'm just going to move the queen someplace else.
So
But I think I like putting the rook on the D file and then putting the queen behind it.
So there's like this famous quote from Kasparov that the queen belongs near the king. I think you're abandoning your king, and like these moves look a little scary.
Yeah, queen G5 looks. Queen H5. Yeah, queen H6 looks really annoying.
I think they both look kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still
So
a
yeah,
history-wise,
I
we
do
did
agree
that
with moving
this.
the rook first.
So the queen belongs near the king.
Yeah.
B4 that he didn't.
So is there no kill? There's like no killer instinct, and in our opponent here. Our hero.
Well, he felt like he needed to go fast when he didn't need to go fast, and then he went too fast. And now that he's gone too fast, now he's not going fast at all.
This is like the equivalent of like when you're trying to microwave leftovers. He like really put it on super high for like a short period of time trying to go fast, and then like it was way too hot. Or like it was like that weird like time between hot and like cold, and then so he went for like 20 seconds each afterwards and kept checking it every 20 seconds.
It's a good metaphor, Weston. Yeah.
I tried.
Okay. Okay. So play b5. Like that's your plan. Play b5. Like, please like string 3 moves together that all achieve
Makes
the
sense.
same thing. That's
Work towards the common goal for a period of time.
okay. So now he has too much counterplay. Yeah, your queen queen is actually worse here than it was here, because at least like if he goes here, then now you can go here, but now your queen has no prospects.
Peace activity.
Yes.
So he gave me a rook. I should win this, and I end up with a
Well,
draw.
you
fighting for a
never
draw.
used it. Your rook just stared at a pawn the whole game.
That's a good point. So she, you can't just think, well, I'm up a rook, I'm going to win because I have more material.
The
You
reason
have
a
to-
rook
you
is
have
better
to-
than a bishop is because a rook controls more squares. But is this rook controlling more squares than this bishop? No.
And so if you can't just say, oh, well, I have these pieces. You have to use your better piece. You can't just put it in the corner and do nothing with it. You have to be like, okay, well, this piece that I have that's better than you, I'm going to use it. That's just putting simple terms.
Okay, so this now his queen has infiltrated, and also he's going to scoop up some pawns.
Yeah, now this looks pretty scary because he's just
So
going to annihilate all
not-
these pawns.
He
and
might not even be worse anymore. He might still be worse, but it's a difficult position now.
And now he can pin the rook with the queen and
he'd
be very annoying.
He's got 2 pawns for it now.
One of them is passed.
All 3 of them are passed.
G4 is a
Not
good
passed
move.
yet.
G4 is a good move, I think. Although, is this a good move? No, because then this, and if you do this, I can take. Okay, so B5. Okay, we're trying to do something.
Okay, A takes, maybe.
Okay, that's not the best square.
Yeah, I would just bishop B3.
Yeah, keep the bishop active.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's laid off his bishop. Like,
Yeah, he's like, I wanted to look at this pawn and only this pawn.
his bishop it's on house arrest.
It is now on timeout. He's like, look at
Yeah.
that pawn's ass for the next few moves. And that's what the bishop's going to do.
Okay, but okay, this is if he gets this in, like, this looks very scary with these passers.
Oh, yeah.
I would take this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's a completely defensible move. There's too many pawns over here that are.
Okay, but we're trying to do stuff with our queen. I think both players really like moving their queen this game.
I had 11 moves with my queen. I have a 33 move game this past week against Randy Sean. Just a note, side note. But I agree, both players like moving their queen.
Okay, so he unbandoned this pawn. He should push.
Shirley, how do you feel about these endgames? When you get to like this
Like, do you know the time situation? Do you remember the time situation here?
No.
No. Are you okay? Like, you know.
I don't know. You guys move the pieces a lot.
well, how do you feel about this position right now?
Was that in the game?
Yeah,
Whose turn is it?
it is White's turn.
Wow.
You can see whose turn it is by see how this is colored. Like,
Because this isn't an end game. Like, I am not like someone who goes.
are
and-
you confident as black here? Like,
No, I'm trying to get a draw.
but you're
Okay.
winning. You have a rook and he has.
I mean,
a
I
bishop.
offered a draw.
Is she win? Like, do
Oh,
we-
Oh, yeah. We kind of skipped over that. King E8 draw offered.
I mean, I don't think that's indefensible, especially given.
Yeah, because this was a big transition in the game. The queen is going to take the 2 pawns.
Yeah.
And he was like, no draw.
And I think Shirley, how do you feel about endgames in general? Do you like playing endgames?
No.
No. Okay. See, so
No.
this is if you don't like playing endgames, I think this is completely
Well,
defensible.
This is quite the lively endgame here.
It is, which is hilarious. Someone who doesn't like to play endgames is now like in this very interesting endgame. So here we are.
Okay, I think this is like a huge idea for black. In heavy endings, like king safety matters a lot, and rook d7 is going to start making very serious threats.
Well, okay. So counterpoint, like what? Why not just like queen a2?
Queen a2 also does lots of stuff.
Okay,
But so he abandoned the pawn. I think you probably took this pawn pretty quickly, right? Because that was your idea. You were targeting this pawn. But I think rook d7 is actually a lot stronger because you're attacking.
And yeah, I guess you're getting a pretty good mate threat on
Well-
the board here too.
I think I might have taken it because I'm worried about those passers.
Right. They are
bait threat is
long term
better.
a threat, but I think your queen and your rook are faster than them. Like I don't think he can defend his king here after rook d7, bishop e2, and then like queen a2. Like
Yeah, that's a pretty hard position for.
I guess you got to bring this back, and then I have like f4. Although I'm blundering something, so yeah, both queens can do stuff to the opposing king. Is I guess the point. I don't know. So
I do like taking the
also
taking
does
the pawn
things
is
because
very
you're
nice.
attacking
'Cause
this. You're like this is like a move. This is attacked.
Yeah, I do like taking the pawn. I think.
Yeah, it's a good move. And then you should take this for sure. And you did.
Did it? What about? Okay, let's go back. Let's go
please
back to that just
activate your
real
rook.
quick.
Like,
What if she just did this?
well, then
You just seal the.
you're leaving these passers. I don't know. I don't know what your point is.
Do you
What is
think
your
the rook can be faster? Check and then.
Oh, so you're sealing off the queen. That's your idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good move then. I see it.
I think it's gonna be
But these
difficult.
pawns
I
are
think
scary if you
they are.
if you aren't successful. But you should be successful, I think.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think taking the pawn's
But
bad.
I think this like cuts out a lot of counterplay. Like
Yeah,
this
I
would
agree.
be like the calm way to do it. And that's what you did. So please activate your rook. Please. Like
You have to use your pieces.
Please develop your pieces.
all right, so your idea is to push this maybe? But
Not
you
a bad-
went for
okay.
unchecked. Okay, so I think you can push this maybe. And that seems like a pretty strong pawn.
Did I play that queen check?
You did, yeah. This is what happened. And then
Okay, then we finally got our. Okay.
okay, but now our king is too weak.
d8.
We took our queen away from our king, and now our king is too weak. And
Oh,
I
you
think
can't play king d8.
White is going to force a draw here. Actually, maybe we're losing, or maybe it's a draw.
Was there perpetual maybe queen?
Okay, yeah. So if I ever go here, then I have this like.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, we're just repeating.
So this is just a
the
draw now.
position now. You know,
Okay,
it's like-
so even though we were down the exchange, both of our kings became weak, and we like to move queens both sides. So
Then we just kind of acknowledged I could force a draw, but we just kept playing moves anyway.
I think here, like if you just push your pawn, I think you're still gonna win.
See, that was nice.
Yeah. So lesson for the people that would play white in this position, don't just sacrifice a piece because you're like, well, I know I'm winning. I'm going to sack this rook. I'm going to go down the exchange, and it doesn't matter. That is the... It's like the doom of a completely one position. Like, how did you lose? Well, let me tell you. I was up, and then I lost.
Then I got overzealous.
Yep. So don't do that. You would have just...
So this is why people are afraid to sack exchange or to sack things, is because sometimes it doesn't work. So you have to have like a reason why your sacrifice works, and it can't just be that you have a winning position. Like, you have to know, well, why is this the move that crashes through?
You have to calculate precisely.
Or sometimes not even precisely, but you have to have some point.
I see.
Like, I don't know.
You should have like two ideas. Besides the sacrifice, you have to have a second idea after that.
And I guess his point was like, but I mean, even this is like perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both white's queen and bishop are his light squared bishop, and he has a queen and queens on the light squares. And her pawn structure would be negating at least some of the activity of those pieces.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that's a good game to look at.
Yeah, that was good.